Hi everyone, welcome to another tutorial session. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install Python packages with Singularity. So let's get started. So first of all, you need to make sure you have Singularity installed and then we will proceed. So what we are going to do is to use this information here. So this is the commands. These are the commands we are going to use to get the packages and install and generate a Singularity container. So we will start with a bootstrap. So the bootstrap and the form simply lets Singularity know what to use as the base. All right, so here we are going to use an image from Docker, and then the specific image is this one, Ubuntu 22.04, and then this is the post. So after we have the image, what do we do next? So these are the commands we will use to install Python and then pip, and finally we will use pip to install the Python packages. All right, so with the Python packages, this is an example. So you need to know what packages you want installed, and then you can now put them here. All right, here this one also just tells Singularity that we don't want to interact with the process. We don't want to we don't want to use any inputs. Everything should go on uninterrupted. All right, so that's what we have here. So these are the commands we are going to use to build our container. So I'll switch to my command line and then we will proceed. All right, so I am on the terminal now. So what I'll do is to first create a directory. All right, so usually I have a project directory that I use for my stuffs. So I'll create a directory. I'll say make that Singularity, and then I will cd into it. Then I'll start the process. So I'll first create the definition file, which I just showed. So those are the file contains instructions that Singularity will use to build the image. All right, so I will just say nano, let's say python.dev. All right, I'm just opening a text editor. Right, and then I'll put in the commands. All right, so the commands I made mention, the first one was bootstrap, which is Docker, and then we are also going to use the Ubuntu 22.04, and then the posts. After we have obtained the image, what we do next is the posts. All right, so here I'll use 3 spaces. It's apt get updates. I'll first update the packages, then I'll install Python 3. All right, that's what I'm going to do. So the -y here indicates that the command here should proceed. We don't want any other question. We don't want Ubuntu to tell us to proceed. Everything should just go on without any form of question or input from us. I'll also install the Python 3 pip. So take note that we can actually combine this and this here. All right, so we can do that, but I chose to just put them in separate lines. And once we are done with pip, then we can now use it. So pip 3 install, I will say pandas numpy. I'll just use this as an example. All right, that's what we are going to do here. So we are installing Python, and we are also installing some Python packages. That's what we are doing here. Okay, so once you are done, the last option is the environment. So here we say Debian front end equals non-interactive. We don't want to interact with the process. Everything should go on without us having to be involved in any of the steps. So that is why this is necessary. If you don't, sometimes you may ask some questions, and when that happens, the whole process gets disrupted. So we want to avoid that. So this is what we have. So once we have this, then we can proceed. So I'll just save it. But let's just make sure the commands are correct first. Everything should be fine here. Yeah, okay, everything is fine. So now we can proceed. So I'll just exit. I will do an ls just to make sure the definition file is there. And by the way, for those who want a definition file, I can share with you. Just put it in the comment section. Right. Once you have this, then you can now build. So we are now going to build a Singularity image or the Singularity container. So I will just say Singularity build. I will say -- fake root, because with installations of this approach, you need an admin access. And so the fake root allows us to act as if we are root or we are admins. We have sudo rights. All right. Now we need to specify the output. So I'll just say python.sif. This is the output. Then we indicate the definition file. That should be the last thing to do. So that will be python.def. That's the last thing we have to do. All right. So once we are done with this, we can now proceed. So I'll hit enter and I will let Singularity do its work. And please take note that depending on the number of packages and the size, it will take some time. So you just have to be patient and also monitor what is happening here. So that will let you know at which stage the Singularity installation is. So you just have to wait and then do it. At the moment, we are at the update line where it's updating the packages, and from there it will do the installations and we are finally going to get our image. So let's just wait for some time and then proceed. All right, so the Python and Python packages have been installed. So let's look at it. So I'll just clear the screen and then I'll just do an ls just to make sure the SIF or SIF file is there. So there's the image, the container. So what we can do is now test it and then see how it goes. All right. So to run the packages or to run a software which is in a Singularity container or image, you need some commands. So what we are going to do is now just test it. Just test and say Python version. Just get a Python version. All right. So what we are going to do is to just call Python and check the version. So I will say Singularity exec, that means we are executing. Then you have to specify the SIF file, the container, which is this one here. So that will be python.sif. Then you now specify the software or the tool you want to run. So in this case, we are saying Python. All right, so I'll just call Python and I'll just say -- version just to check the Python version. All right, so when you do it like this, here I said Python. Okay, this means that Python 2. And so because we installed Python 3, you have to now use Python 3. All right, so I'll rather have to say Singularity exec python.sif and say Python 3 version. So once we run this, it's going to tell us the version. All right. Now there's a way to also configure your system so that you are able to run Python using this one. So in that case, you have to just set a symlink. All right. That one I have a tutorial for that. So you can put that entire command in the definition file you have here and then rerun it so that once it's done, you can run Python using this or this. Okay, that's something we can talk about later on, or you can just book a session and I will explain all those things to you as well. All right, so this is for the Python. Now, what about if you are testing the Python interactively? You can also call the Python in this particular container and run it interactively. So to do that, it's the same command, but this time we just say Python. So when we run it, it's going to mount it for us. So now you see the Python version. So now we can just do everything we want. I can just say import pandas because we installed pandas. All right, I can do it like this. I can say pandas -- version just to see the pandas version. So once you are here, you can do whatever you want to do with pandas. Okay, so for example, you can read a CSV file which we can test now, or you can also, if you install NumPy or other stuffs, you can also use those ones. This is interactive. All right, now let's quit it. And then if, let's say, the script you are using is already there, you can also run it using the same approach. So let's just create a simple hello world script and then use that in Singularity. So I can just say nano, let's say test.py. I'll just say print hello world. All right. I'll just print this one here. All right, that's it. All right. So here I can just run it. So to run the script with Python, which is in this particular container, the same approach, Singularity, exec python.zip, and I'll say Python 3. I'll say test.py. So let's run this. So once you do it, it's going to do it for you as well here. All right. So this is how we install Python and Python packages in Singularity. So for those who want more tutorials on Singularity, you can just contact me by email or book a session and we can work on some stuff together. So I'll see you in the next session.